let's start this whole video off with determining if a camera monitor is a necessity or it's a luxury, something that's just nice to have, but you don't really need it. Now, in my opinion, it all comes down to what you plan on doing with your camera equipment. If you're doing YouTube videos like I'm doing now, and with a camera like the Fujifilm X-T3 that doesn't have a flip display, you probably don't have much of an option out there, and you probably need to pick up an external monitor to be able to just view yourself, make sure you're in focus, make sure your lighting's good, make sure there's nothing weird going on. It just makes the whole process more efficient. Now, if you're filming weddings or corporate videos, you may not need to invest into purchasing an external monitor. You may want to invest your money elsewhere. Now, that being said, there are monitors out there like the Atomos Ninja that can allow you to record in a better color depth and different codecs. That is completely different to what I'm talking about today. Now, those monitors are there for cameras like the Fujifilm X-T3 for me to be able to get 10-bit 422 externally in ProRes, and the same with cameras like the EOS R that will allow you to get 10-bit 422 in ProRes externally as well. So that is probably leaning down another path, and that's not really what I want to talk about today. Today I just want to talk about monitors, strictly monitors, not external recorders. And there are plenty of great brands out there at the moment. Plenty of brands that are pretty good value for money, but in my opinion, nothing's really better at the moment than Feelworld. Feelworld gives you great bang for buck and pretty decent quality for the price you pay. So about a year ago, I decided to invest in purchasing a video monitor. Now, after doing a lot of research and seeing many camera monitors that are on the market, while there are some that are very, very good, like the Atomos Shinobi or the Small HD, the problem is the price. Now, just to monitor something, you shouldn't be paying $500–600. You can spend $800 or $900 and go get a Atomos Ninja that has the ability to record. So my budget was around the $200–300 mark. I didn't want to spend much more than that. Now, in the market at the time, there wasn't that much available. So my decision was to go with the Feelworld F570, and I'm very happy with it. For what it can do, for the price that I paid, I'm happy. Yes, it could be a little bit better. Build quality could be better. What you get with it in the accessories could be a little bit better, but then again, you're paying $200 or less for a 4K video monitor. So before I purchased the Fujifilm X-T3, I had a Canon 200D or an SL2, whatever you guys want to call it. That camera didn't have false colors. The histogram will disappear when you hit the record button. It didn't have zebras, it didn't have false color, none of that. So having a monitor like the Feelworld F570, it gave me the ability to have false color. It gave me the ability to run a histogram all the time while recording. It gave me false colors, it gave me focus peaking, it gave me zebras. So the camera didn't have that, but the monitor did. So I saw that as a bit of a double benefit. I'm getting a monitor, but then I'm getting all these other features that many high-end cameras have, but my one didn't at the time. So another thing I liked about it was the ability to set up your grid markers. So you could see exactly if you were going to have cinema bars later on in post, you knew where your markers were, where your safe area was to film, to make sure that everything was right. The problem is you guys probably know this as well. You get into post and you put your cinebars on and you're sitting there moving your positioning and your scale, trying to recompose all your shots, and it becomes a bit cumbersome and a bit time consuming. So having that in camera just helps you remember how to compose your shots and how to stick in safe areas, and definitely that has saved me a lot of time in post. So while this monitor doesn't have the highest brightness compared to other monitors on the market, so I knew that it wasn't going to be as bright as some of its competitors, but that's something that I was willing to take the plunge on for the price that I paid. Now, trust me on this, 99% of the time I don't have an issue with brightness. I think it is more than enough in what the monitor can offer in brightness. And look, even if you're outdoors and it's a bit sunny and you know, you're struggling to see your monitor very clearly, you've got the sunshade that comes with it, so you're pretty much sweet. You whack that on and it gives you enough shade, and it's more than enough. So I run the monitor on F series batteries, and I use the smaller ones. These are just newer, cheap batteries. And I get probably about 3 hours of continuous, and I've run a whole day on a shoot that, you know, on and off recording for a full 6 to 8 hours or something like that, and I still had like 20% at the end of it. So it's pretty good on battery. Freaking bug. Build quality is a little bit cheap. A couple of things that I noticed was they give you these little mounts, just these here, but they only give you one. So if you want to mount horizontally, fine. If you want to mount, say, on a vertical, you know, on a gimbal or something like that, you can see there's some screws just there. You have to take this mount off and put it there. I don't understand why they just couldn't give you 2 of these little mounts. They're probably like 5 cents each, you know, just give you 2. And the problem is the screws that are on there are very bad quality, and they just get stripped after a few times. So I'm not really happy about that. One of the other things that I wasn't happy with at the start was the HDMI cable you get with it. It is a joke. It's too thick, it's not flexible, it's too long. The connectors on them for the HDMI, they are massive. They're just rubber, huge things. So the one thing I did invest in was a Atomos coil HDMI cable. I got this one on a right angle. You can get them straight, you know, there's no big difference in that. But I think I paid about $30 for this, and this is definitely a worthwhile investment. Just having it a little bit smaller, so, you know, camera to monitor is just a lot more simpler. And if I want to throw it on a gimbal, then I can just stretch it out and I've got the length on it, and it sort of stays there as well. So definitely invest in a better cable. So think to yourself, if you do need a monitor and you don't want to spend a lot of money, have a look at Feelworld. I think they're pretty good for what they can offer. There are other companies out there as well, but for me, for the money that you pay, I think you can probably get the best bang for buck with Feelworld. I think if you want to invest in a better monitor, skip the small HD, skip the Shinobi. I find that there's no point in spending that much money. It's too close to something like the Ninja 5. So if you want something that's going to be an awesome monitor and a great recorder, maybe not even for now, maybe for in the future, go for a Ninja. But if you need something that is just for monitoring, just makes your life a little bit easier on something like, you know, maybe your YouTube videos, maybe even a commercial shoot, just to have that bigger display, it can make a bit of a difference. It doesn't make all the difference, but it can help you guys. Just make your life a little bit easier. Then go for something like the Feelworld. The price you pay is worth it. It's not a big dent in your budget. I think with what you get, the features you get built into it, I think it is definitely value for money. So I hope you guys found this video useful. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. There are plenty more videos on the way, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.